Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We're here at the Ritz-Carlton of Laguna Niguel. I have to my right here, Andrei Chabanov, CEO and founder of Trustek, and a few other really interesting projects that are just coming out of stealth. Andrei, it's a pleasure to have you here, sir. Are you enjoying the fruits of Laguna Niguel?
Amazing. Couldn't ask for a better place to be.
Yeah, it's I'm blessed to call this home. Anyways, we're here for the Link2 Team Apollo meetup. This is an event that caters to Link2's top investors. What brings you to this event, being the fact that you guys are, yes, locals to the area, but let's explore some of the synergies that may be on the table between a new and up-and-coming fintech startup like Trustek and a proud, established fintech company like Link2 that's democratizing access to the private capital markets.
Absolutely. Great question. Aside from the surrounding, it's great to be here. The idea of Trustek is the back office, something that a lot of people overlook, where back office infrastructure, it's basically a gateway for custodians and financial institutions to get access to Link2 offerings and assets. So we are the piping to custodians that give exposure to their clients to Link2 assets. What we realized after years of being in the space is that the alternative asset space is very underserved. And when it comes to technology integration, usually you have to do a one-for-one integration. So if I want to get access to some type of crypto asset, I need to integrate with a liquidity provider. Then if I want to add a few more assets, then it's more liquidity providers. And at some of the companies that I've seen previously would use as many as 40 different vendors to provide simple onboarding experience, trading, custody, and so on.
That seems like it get pretty convoluted, like having that many cooks in the kitchen.
Absolutely. And if you want to add an additional asset, you have to go through the process of onboarding with a different business and go through pretty complex, lengthy process. We make it easy, and we just offer a suite of APIs that allow clients to get access to crypto. Right now, Link2 is in the works, and we're hoping that in the near future will allow some of the major custodians in the space to extend Link2 offerings to their clients.
Interesting. Who's a perfect customer for Trustek?
So we built a pretty sophisticated backend infrastructure, and we started calling up a good amount of people that we know in the industry, telling them what we built. And we got a lot of traction from crypto on-ramping companies. Turns out that the process, the back office is not what a lot of companies know. What's popular right now is having an amazing brand in the business, and brand takes different type of skill than building the back office. And most of the crypto companies, they have amazing brand, but they don't have the back office infrastructure. We got a lot of traction from crypto on ramping, and for those who don't know, that means going from your card, from fiat, from USD or whatever currency, we support over 100 currencies, into crypto. People say, why don't I use Coinbase for that? You absolutely can, but with Coinbase, you're locked in for about 3 to 7 days with those assets, and you're limited to whatever Coinbase assets are offered. With us, we give exposure to assets that you can use on-ramp through our platform, and you can also do it in your self-custodial wallet, which then opens it up for whatever amount of meme tokens and whatever coins you want to have access to.
Yeah. What makes you the right man to be at the helm of Trustek?
A little bit of my background. Most recently, I was the vice president of product and engineering at iTrust Capital.
Okay.
And iTrust was a tremendous success. I think what iTrust built is a revolutionary product. And what we learned there, and at a few of my other ventures that I worked on in the past, again, we learned that the back office is broken. What we honed in is settlement and reconciliation. And for a long time on our information deck, we had a slide that had a line of incidents in the industry, and it was FTX, Celsius, Prime Trust, Abra, and all of the unfortunate events that took the digital asset industry back by number of years. So what we realized is that all of those issues could be solved with a relatively simple solution: reconciliation. I guess not as simple when it comes to figuring it out start to finish, but that's what we honed in on. And we work with a CPA firm to do on-chain asset attestation. We do a triangular reconciliation where we check what's on-chain, what's in our database, and what's in our integrator's database. And only if those three things match do we say that, okay, we're good, we're reconciled. And only if that's the case where the assets are actually in place. And I can't think of too many companies that actually do that these days. But I think in order for us to replace trust by truth, that's the type of technology that we need, and that's what we did at Trustek. We built a reconciliation engine, and then around it, we built onboarding, KYC, trading, custody, but at the core, it's settlement and reconciliation.
You guys, I believe, have had some other success within the Trustek domain, specifically around that crypto on-ramp that you mentioned.
Yeah.
Would you be willing to share about some of those endeavors that you guys have been exploring?
Yeah, happy to. We're at Austin Consensus Conference, and they held a hackathon, which is, for those who don't know, it's a coding competition for about 3 days. You get with over 100 teams, and you come up with an idea, you build it for 3 days, and then you pitch it, and you get voted on, and you either selected or you're not. So what we did, using some of the Trustek technology and all of the knowledge that we gained in the past years of working in the industry, we built a simple, easy-to-use Telegram crypto on-ramping.
A crypto on-ramping product within Telegram?
Inside Telegram, right?
Really?
And that's been an industry that's been popping off.
Yeah, and for the fact, I mean, for instance, we're here at a Link2 event, and the Team Apollo Telegram group chat, basically the top investors on the platform use Telegram specifically to share ideas, to communicate, but that's just one of many crypto-focused channels on that platform. So it's really an idea that you guys were able to build something within the Telegram app, which avoids them having to even leave that ecosystem and make those transactions in-app. That's brilliant.
Yeah, the way to look at it, Telegram is the leading platform for anything crypto related. Not only that, so they have, I think, close to 900 million users, and that's the only messaging app or social media app that has their own blockchain. That by default really sets them so much far ahead on all of the competition. And that's why we decided to go with Telegram, because all of the crypto community is within that ecosystem.
You just mentioned they're leveraging blockchain themselves?
Yeah, they rolled out Ton. That's their native blockchain. And so Telegram has been completely crushing it in that domain.
So this app, the
mini app is what they call it.
This mini app within Telegram has been around for a few weeks now. Can you talk about the volume you guys have processed?
Yeah.
Volume of transactions, excuse me.
So we did a controlled release where we went to the beta users. We had a lot of people sign up on the website, which I thought people don't really do that anymore, but I guess crypto community does. So we emailed the invite code to these people, and they gave us some feedback. And then about a week later, we rolled it out to general public. Within the first, that was last week. So we're at about less than 2 weeks.
This is really fresh.
Very fresh. Yeah, so we built it at Hackathon. It was the very rough mock-up, in a way, very small beta. We built it for the next 3 weeks, and then we released it to the invite only. And now we just 10 days ago, we released it to the general public. Crazy, amazing traffic that we've seen. About $200,000 worth of transactions that were submitted to the platform. Couple thousand users that visited. About, I believe, 400 that transacted. They're usually smaller volume transactions, but hey, it's the aggregate that matters.
Being on track to processing your first million in transactions within the first month, which you're targeting is what I'm hearing. That's incredible. How does that compare to other new ventures that are entering the space?
I can say how it compares to the ventures that I've worked on before.
Please,
and it completely blew it out of the park, because I'm not too familiar with that many companies that had that much traction from the very beginning. And that's also to be considering that we did almost zero marketing. We did post some tweets on X. We did engage some communities, but it spent any money on it. We didn't. It's all word of mouth. We're getting a lot of positive support and feedback from Stellar Foundation. They gave us a grant at the hackathon. They just invited us to their startup camp. So they're very supportive with this new venture.
Any other large entities of taking interest in Trustek or any of the endeavors under the Trustek umbrella?
Another big one that we're very proud of is USC Accelerator, a USC incubator with Paul Orlando. We are doing that right now as well. They took interest in what we're building. They saw a lot of potential, and I think it's amazing to be supported by one of the top business schools and be selected out of a very competitive landscape.
Hopefully through this interview, we get some more eyeballs on the Trustek crypto wallet. How can those in the audience find out more about what you're working on? What's the crypto on-ramp that they can use in Telegram?
Totally. Trustek.io is the website, and we've seen traction. We're getting business clients. So that's as far as the Trustek. As far as the Telegram on-ramping bot, it's publicly available. Anybody can go to Telegram, type in Ramp Me Daddy. And
Ramp Me Daddy.
Ramp Me Daddy.
Where did you guys get that kind of name? What inspired that? It reminds me of something like GoDaddy.
Yeah, that's what we're thinking. We're like, or is that too edgy? Are people gonna not enjoy it? We've gotten so much traction because everybody wants to get a laugh in this. With everything going on in the world, everybody wants to have a giggle or a laugh. And every time we tell someone, go to Ramp Me Daddy and get your crypto, it gets a laugh.
It makes you laugh, yeah.
And it makes people more, it's not some crazy name that people don't really relate. It's on ramping, and then we take care of that. So
it inspires good vibes, but as long as it's underpinned by trustworthy technology, by Trustek. Kudos to you. Is there any other final statements that you'd like to leave with the audience before I let you go and enjoy the beautiful fruits of Salt Creek Beach here at the Ritz-Carlton?
I would say thank you very much for having me here. Amazing event, amazing crowd. I always enjoy intimate events like this where the people have the same mission of driving innovation and adopting new technologies. And I think Link2 is at the forefront of that. The crowd here is exactly the people that are driving this innovation. And not only by showing up, by putting their money behind it, showing up and spending their time exchanging ideas. And yeah, so hopefully this is one of many events, and we're really forward to many more.
Well, being the fact that you guys live right up the street here, we should be doing one of these at least every quarter at the minimum. Well, that might be a stretch, but let's shoot for 2 a year. It's a pleasure to have you here, Andre. You and Trevor are some brilliant minds, and I have no doubt that you guys are going to just absolutely leave a dent in this new and emerging blockchain economy. Hope the audience doesn't mind the helicopter cruising in the background. We're just only a couple miles north of Pendleton here. But before I do let you go, since this was your first time attending a Link2 hosted event, who was one of your favorite speakers that you saw up on stage? We had Linda P. Jones, we had Jimmy Valley from Value Capital, Joe Endoso, the CEO of Link2, the CSO, Karim Noorani. What was an impactful quote or a takeaway that you think is worth sharing with the audience before I let you go?
The people that you mentioned, every single one of them said something that stuck with me. But luckily, I got to share the table with Joe, and
Does he know about Ramp Me Daddy?
That's probably what he's doing. He's getting crypto through Telegram right now.
Probably is.
But one thing that I asked him is, what's your advice to me as a young entrepreneur?
Love that.
And he said, just keep grinding, because whoever doesn't stop makes it to the next level and really makes it. Yeah. Stuff is going to come. You might have to pivot. You might have to change the way you go. And it's not something that school can teach. It is something that you can develop. So as long as you keep going after the same thing, grinding, head down, and not give up.
Andre, it's been a pleasure. I appreciate you sharing your time with me. Looking forward to the success that you guys are having at Trustek and the impact that you're going to have on this SoCal entrepreneurship community. And hopefully you give the I Trust Capital team a run for your money with just the talent and resources that you guys offer to the community.
Yeah, I Trust is another amazing team.
They are an amazing team. Yeah, so, I'm sure they're watching you guys very closely.
Hope maybe there's a partnership sometime in the future with I Trust, with Link2, with the number of excellent companies that we luckily have here in Southern California.
With the grit that you have, there's no doubt that you guys are destined for greatness. Andre, appreciate you.
Much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ray.
Good to see you.